Hello, Gemini. Let's get into these cards because I think for you, August is going to be a little bit of a plot twist. Maybe some change in plans. What the universe is really asking for from you this month is the true mutability. So your energy is coming out as that of the Page of Swords, which is your energy. And I like this for you because it does tell me that you are capable of being flexible. And this month, August, is going to require a lot of flexibility. Now, huge emphasis on that 9th house. And the 9th house can be a really tricky place because it's the house of Jupiter. It's a house of Sagittarius. It's where we want to expand in life. It's a knowing that we are meant to have certain experiences that help us to grow, that change our life in some way. And typically, like those big life-changing events, you know, they're not brought about because we are rigid, right? If you look at life, you know, the best things that happen usually happen when we surrender our illusion of control. I like to always say illusion of control because it truly is an illusion, right? Virgo season is going to make you want to micromanage stuff, you know? All of us moving from this Leo energy into this Virgo season, we're kind of like, we know what we want, one foot in front of another. We're going to very practically make that plan, make that to-do list, have a list of achievements and expectations. But I think some of the things that happen is this, you know, second full moon in your 9th house, along with the idea that Jupiter is now back into your 9th house. There's expansion within reason, okay? You may be wanting something big, and the universe might be breadcrumbing you. In other words, you might be getting this idea that this is really going to work. This is the big thing. This is the big break. This is the opportunity. And yet, as these things come to fruition, it may be less than what you expected. And the Page of Swords says your higher energy, the best use of this energy is to stay flexible, which means you have to maintain, okay, 9th house, Saturn. You have to maintain a certain level of faith. You have to know that life isn't, you know, just torturing us all of the time. Like, here's this carrot that's dangling in front of you, and the second that you get closer and closer to it, it kind of just is still out of reach. And it's not because the universe dislikes you. It's not because you are unlucky in some way. It's just that there is more to the story, more to your personal experience, and there's divine timing, and there is other people, right? Other people's karma, other people's dharma that are really multi-layered in this story. Now, the environment for you, or the condition, or the situation is the Emperor. Now, this is real leadership energy. This kind of is the opposite of the Page of Swords in a lot of ways, because the Emperor is aware of his control. And especially this Emperor kind of holding this chess piece, appearing to be extremely confident and relaxed. Both figures are absolutely in a state of relaxation and surrender now, especially this Page of Swords, because she seems to be like on this tight rope. And she's also kind of allowing her mind to, I almost want to say, like, travel. Her mind is allowed to travel, and her mind is kind of leading her body right now. You're very open to knowledge. You're very open to conversations. And this is definitely an energy of being the observer this month. But maybe what you don't realize is there is someone or something that is also observing you. And the Emperor, one thing is for certain with his energy is that he doesn't really let anyone on to the bigger plan. Okay? The Emperor is like this Mars energy. And what happens is he always has a plan, right? Like there's a survival tactic, he has his own set of expectations, but he doesn't need to share that idea with others because he knows in that form of vulnerability, you know, if you make promises to people, then those are the things that most likely, even if you want to change your mind, you are unable to. And so the Emperor knows when to like keep things close to his chest. And this is more like a quieter control. Now, if we are experiencing something in our life where we were trying to control something in some manner, in the act of the controlling itself, if we were demanding that people do this or do that or think this way, and I think that this gets toned down this month. Because I don't think that you're really interested in getting other people to do the things. I think the universe wants you to really keep your sights set on something, but to understand that any obstacles, any illusions, any hiccups in the plan are divinely guided, and yet it does not throw you off course. This doesn't change the plan. It might delay it, it might inconvenience it in some way, right? Remember, we've got another Mercury retrograde coming up in the sign of Libra, and these Mercury retrogrades are particularly strong for you because they are in the air signs. And because this is going to close out the cycle of what the last Mercury retrograde in Gemini was all about. And we've experienced, especially with the nodes in your sign. And then we had, last summer we had Venus retrograde in Gemini. And so there's a closing of a lot of stories here. And as these stories close, you become more in your power. But it's probably not in the form in which you thought it would take place. Now, here we have the Page of Cups and the Fool card in reverse, and there's definitely some sort of a resistance. Now, my Page of Cups card does indicate that there are emotions at play here, okay? There are definitely feelings. There's some sort of an expression or acknowledgement of the feelings. And yet there is kind of this risk-adverse energy. And this kind of reminds me of this Emperor energy as well. Because I think there's things that you're thinking, and this is almost like you see something happening, something looks really, really good, and yet those people, I am not one of them, but those people that are like so good at not getting their hopes up, right? They're always maintaining this level of control. Things are working out. They're going in order. We're manifesting. We're starting to see the physical evidence of our manifestations. We're making the plans. Things are coming to fruition. And yet there's a part of you, or maybe this is another person in your life that says, well, let's just be prepared for all the things, because we're still at the stage in the game where what you thought was going to work out could take a turn. And so there's a level of like being a little bit skeptical, being a little bit reserved, which is really going to take its toll because we've got Mercury in Leo, and Mercury in Leo is really like wants you to say all the things. Can be a little like dramatic, right? So in one sense, we've got like this dramatic energy, this dramatic feeling, this, oh my God, I really love this. Oh my God, I really want this. I want to be with this person. And yet the Fool is like, yeah, but let's not quite say it out loud yet. And this is that Emperor energy. This is kind of this quiet grace. Maybe this is just a time period where you are simply meant to feel the feelings and not really do anything yet to act on them. Now, what I do love about this energy is right underneath here we have this luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius, which brings me again to that attention of the 9th house. Now, we also have Sagittarius in your 7th house, partnering, meaning that for a lot of you, this could feel like a really beautiful opportunity in terms of love, in terms of contracts, in terms of partnerships of any kind. You could have met or you start to like fall in love with that perfect partner. You start to see life expanding in front of you, like these are the dreams that you really had coming true, and yet there seems to be an essence of not quite believing in it. The Sag energy is funny because as much as it's an archer. It's shooting at a certain goal. And I think you see a lot of potential right now. But there's also this very practical side of you that says right now it is still just potential. Now, luck is on your side, meaning that even if things are going wrong, even if things aren't quite working perfectly in this arena, even if there's mixed messages or confusion or delays in the contracts, it does indicate to me that even the delays and obstacles are sort of a blessing. It indicates to me that this is like your higher being that's kind of taking the driver's seat, in which case this Page of Swords energy is very beneficial because you can listen. You can listen to that higher self. You can listen and understand, if something doesn't happen on this particular date or on this particular weekend, if you have plans with a significant other and you have these expectations of like some sort of confession of love or commitment, and then it doesn't quite happen, well, the truth is it's a good thing it didn't happen. The not happening is also an element of luck. And because we have Sag in the 7th house and because the South Node is there, I don't know if Gemini necessarily needs to feel like tied down or committed right now. And the thing is, I think that you know that. I think that you know that as much as you love this, I always think about Jerry and Esther Hicks, if you ever listen to Abraham Hicks. It was never like, I love you forever, or I'm going to be here with you forever kind of commitments. It was more like, I like you pretty good for now, right? And there's a need to be like free. Because as much as you love this, like you have a world to explore and experience, okay? And you might feel a little bit pulled, a little bit undecided on how exactly you want all of this to really play out. Now we have fairy circles. I see magic everywhere. I look deeper for a solution. I am open to transforming myself. Curiosity is valuable to me. And this is what I'm talking about, the Sag energy, the Fool in reverse. Curiosity is valuable to me. You are the Page of Swords. You are curious, and it is very important that you maintain this level of curiosity, which means this is not really the time to sign the contracts or make the commitments. We have to be super easy about things. We have to understand that the experiences that we're having now, that the people that we're meeting now in our lives are meant to teach us and enrich us for sure, but they are not meant to tie us down. And there seems to be a little bit of confusion here, because I think this is like, I think this is going to trigger your ego a little bit. And that's where we can get really tripped up. You know, it's so funny because we could be in this place where we really like somebody and yet we know we don't want commitment, right? And so we just decide to enjoy things for what they are and what it feels like right now in the moment. No big decisions. And then maybe you're having a conversation and that very same partner says to you, I really don't know if this is like a forever thing. Really don't know if this is what I want for the rest of my life, but I like how it is now. And there's something about that triggering of the ego where even if that person feels the same exact way that you do, it triggers a wound or a hurt within you that says, yeah, but why am I not good enough? Why don't you want me forever? And it's kind of silly, right? Like as I tell the story, like the good news is you're both on the same page, and yet somehow it still triggers your ego. And it's meant to. And it's important that we allow this 5 of Swords to kind of flow through our system, to flow through our experience. Now, it does indicate to me that there's a level of distance created. So if it's not the scenario that I'm telling you, in some way or another, there's probably some sort of conversation, even in the form of gossip or overhearing things that can make you really recognize the distance that there is between you and another person, or the distance that there is between you and this goal. But the 5 of Swords is so irritating because it's probably things that other people say or do that we shouldn't take so personally. And here we have the Page of Swords, which indicates that you shouldn't take anything personally right now. I mean, if somebody is backing out, or if somebody is giving mixed signals, or you can't quite figure out where this thing is going, it's probably really important for you to kind of get out of your head. Now, the good news is this is going to trigger an emotion that's going to help you figure out exactly what it is that you want. It's going to make you really understand how you feel about this thing. Ace of Cups. Okay, well, if there's some form of a rejection for somebody and it really hits you and triggers you, then obviously this is a significant person, right? Now, I know I said don't take it personally. I'm not so sure you have a choice. This experience is going to teach you to not take the next experience personally, at the very least. But we have this 5 of Swords and we have this Ace of Cups. And this is simply because this is what happens when we become inauthentic. And this is also what happens when Uranus stations retrograde in your 12th house. This is the self-sabotage, the undoing, because we are not willing to take this risk and go all in. Because there's something in our energy that says, don't talk about your feelings, don't get your hopes up. The universe, is trying to show you all of this emotional stuff, trying to get you to feel your feelings, trying to get you to understand this other side of yourself. And I think there's been a level of avoidance, which could often indicate that there's a level of sabotage. And I think this Ace of Cups is kind of like opening the floodgates of feelings, and it's probably a lot. It's probably months, years, a lifetime of unresolved trauma that comes up from this simple scenario. because underneath this Ace of Cups, we have 23 cleansing storms. Here's a 5 and here's a 5. Listen, this is a heart opening and it's a heart cleansing, you know, both the rain coming down here, the rain coming down here. There's a need to experience this heartbreak. Now, I'm not saying that anything this month is going to, like, quote unquote, break your heart. I'm not getting like major losses or breakups or anything like that. This is just like a reminder that kind of throws you back into these feels. And it's in order to make the space. So you have somebody that you've kind of really got your hopes up that this thing is going to move in this certain direction, and then they may say or do something that reminds you of a past hurt. Maybe they say something that one of your exes had said to you over and over again, and suddenly you're like, oh my God, I never really resolved this within myself. Sometimes we don't give ourselves closure, right? Like we all walk around saying, I need closure, because we need like this experience or this validation from an external source. I need to know why that job didn't work out. I need to know why that person didn't like me. I need to know why that person was emotionally unavailable. I need to know. But we lack the ability to understand what it is in ourselves that was attracting that situation. We really have to start looking at repeated patterns or situations, because most likely, even though we thought it was the other person, it is also something within us. And the Ace of Cups is an opportunity. Look at, we have, and I'm so struck by the similarity. We've got the hand here and we've got the hand here, telling me that the universe is literally handing you an opportunity to clear this out of your system once and for all. Sorry about the 20-minute buzz, guys. Now, I can't say it enough. There's so much growth that occurs here in this process, because we go from a 5 of Swords to a 10 of Cups. This is so important, guys. This is so important for your growth. Whoever this is that is triggering you, this is a true soulmate. Now, funny thing about soulmates is that they're not always like soft and cozy and cuddly. Some of our best soulmates are the people that have hurt us the most. I don't know if this person is really qualified to be like the person that's hurt you the most, but nonetheless, there's a tremendous level of emotional growth that occurs from the situation. And at the very least, Gemini, only in your readings, there's so many distractions going on right now. At the very, very least, the situation is going to put you in a place where you know what you want, because you know what you don't want anymore. If somebody shows you your happiness does not lie here, it's because that happiness is somewhere else. And what it does is give you the emotional strength to say, I don't want to do this anymore. And then you regroup and you adjust the dream. And I'm so drawn to this 10 of Cups here, and then we've got this card number 18, Magic Stream, underneath, and these are two very watery, abundant, and nurturing environments. There is a constant stream of abundance. Look, we actually have a stream here in the picture. We have a stream here. There is a constant flow of abundance and emotional availability. Maybe your intuition was telling you that even though you really, really liked the situation, there was something that was just kind of off about it. Maybe this person was very emotionally unavailable. And the truth is, you require somebody who is very emotionally available. because you realize that you would prefer to be here. There's not, you can only maintain this level of safety for so long before you realize that everything about life starts to feel numb and boring. Sure, you may not be getting hurt, but at the same time, are you really living? Are you really, truly experiencing the things that your heart desires? When we deal with cup energy, and especially because underneath here we've got bottom of the deck, 6 of Cups, which always tells me that we're experiencing something that is a form of destiny and fate, right? 6 of Cups is my fate card. A card of soulmates. It's a card of the universe handing you the gift of the experience or the emotional experience, which is very much a gift. Now, for some of you, there could be somebody else coming into the picture that's going to provide something that this other person could not provide. For some of you, this is a job that comes in. You may be almost ready to sign a contract with this job, or like right before you're signing a non-compete, all of a sudden this other opportunity pops up out of the blue. And you realize that the reason that contract got delayed was because you're truly destined to do this thing. For some of you, it could be like a house or a living situation. Really, really had your heart set, almost ready to like start packing the boxes and moving into this place. And suddenly there's like this hiccup. And I think there was like this intuition that you shouldn't get your heart set on it to begin with, because there was something much better just right around the corner. And I don't think that you're going to be sorry about this thing not working out, because this is like the knowing that this went down exactly the way it was meant to. And I love that we're ending here with the Death card and the Wall. Obstacles. Now we've got the Death card and we've got a card number 11. Another element of like destiny is at play here. And the Death card is about surrendering to the transformation of life, surrendering to the change. And this is really prominent when you've got Uranus in your 12th house. You have to just simply acknowledge that you are not in control of anything. And in fact, it is so much easier for you to stay open and allow the universe to kind of deliver the things to you. Maintaining a level of faith that whatever is ending will always, always, always bring a new beginning. Whatever relationship ends means it makes space for something better. Moving out of one house into another. The ending, as painful as it may be, is cleansing. And the thing that shows up on the other side of that ending is probably better than you could have ever imagined anyways. Now, I do want to actually read you a piece of this from the book, The Wall, because I just thought it was really profound when I was looking at it. Obstacles being inconvenienced by life, detours, and non-action. There are moments in your life when you are so geared up, so sure that you are on track with such drive and momentum that you are shocked and confused when you encounter a wall. This unpredictability occurs outside your ability to plan, regardless of if you've done everything right in alignment with the divine. It's imperative that you change your attitude now. The temporary roadblock is not an obstacle to blast through. This is not an invitation to push harder, cancel other plans, or worry about who will win or lose. This is a stopping point to enable you to slow down and contemplate the part of the manifesting equation that you and everyone else forgets. Life on life's terms will override the best laid plans. Yes, and inconvenient as it may seem, this experience is an important reminder that you are a human being, not a human doing. Perhaps you're being reminded of your mortality, or that you are but a small part of the bigger universe, where your destiny intersects with others. Your life may be meant to serve another purpose at this moment, and your attention meant to be directed elsewhere. Consider that this place of temporary non-action is exactly meant for you to be. Perhaps it's because all you desire and have set in motion needs time to coalesce into form on the other side. Could it be that all the elements are not yet in place for this manifestation to be the highest good of all? Patience is required now, and the wisdom that this might be a great time to take a break and contemplate gratitude. What is truly yours will never be walled off from you. All right, Gemini, I am going to leave it there. Really powerful, beautiful reading, guys. Just if anything this month, reminder to go with the flow, and a reminder that every day is a blessing. Every situation, even the sucky ones, are really and truly a blessing. All right, Gemini, take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye.